Hello, my dear students. Welcome back. Myself, Teacher Parul from Stella Maris High School. In this video, we are going to see Chapter 2, Part 2. In previous video, I have already explained you about the microorganisms, types of microorganisms. Okay, in the animated video, you have seen different type of the microorganisms. Okay, cleaning the environment, harmful microorganisms, disease causing microorganisms. Okay, disease causing microorganisms in animals, disease causing microorganism in plants. Okay, so I hope you have understood all that topics. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you can call me. So now in this video, we will move ahead with chapter 2, part 2. Okay, so in this video, we are going to see the next topics of this chapter. We are going to see food poisoning, food preservation, different methods of food preservation, storage and packing, nitrogen fixation in that nitrogen cycle. Okay, so my dear students, let us begin with that. Food poisoning. So food poisoning, it is caused due to the consumption of food spoiled by some microorganisms. Okay, if we have eaten spoiled food, okay, if we have consumed spoiled food, okay, then the food poisoning occurs. So, the microorganisms that grow on food items produce toxic substances. Okay, this make the food poisonous, causing serious illness and even the death. Okay, so food can be poisoned by the microbes. Okay, microbes, or small microorganisms. So microbes produce toxic substances. Okay, what they produce toxic substances in the food. Okay, thus poison or spoil the food. So they are what doing, that food now in that toxic substances are there. So that food is now in the form of the poison only if we consume, because it is going to affect our health. Okay, so consuming spoiled food make us ill. Therefore, it is very important to preserve food items so that the microbes cannot grow and spoil them. Okay, now see, we have to preserve our food, no? Yes, we have to preserve the food, otherwise the microbes or microorganism will sit on that. Okay, it will release some toxic substances from their body, and if we will consume it, we may fall ill. Okay, so for that we need to preserve our food items. So microbes just don't attack any food item. They need a suitable environment to grow and survive. Okay, once they have attacked, but for that also they need a suitable environment so they can grow there and they can survive. Okay, so only then they can release toxic substances and thus they can spoil the food. Okay, if they got that environment and they have survived there, then only they can release their toxic substances there and they can spoil the food. Okay, some factors which promote growth of microbes. Okay, some factors which are promoting the growth of the microbes are the moisture, the warm temperature. Okay, so we need to preserve our food so the microbes don't attack them. The microorganism doesn't attack our food, doesn't get affected by the microorganism. So we need to preserve our food, we need to protect our food. Okay, so let us now talk about how we can preserve food to protect them from the microorganisms or the microbes. Food preservation. Food preservation means we are preserving our food, okay, by the microorganisms or by the microbes. Okay, so food preservation techniques. There are various techniques of food preservation. Okay, like using chemicals, using salt, using vinegar, sugar, oil, etc. Okay, even heat and cold treatment also helps to preserve food. Okay, proper storage is very important for the preservation of the food, as we have already seen that in chapter 1, right? We have seen the crops were cultivated in the large quantity, and we have seen that the undergoes the chemical treatment. Even then at homes, when the grains are preserved, they use dried neem leaves. Okay, so microbes doesn't affect it. Same way, we are going to see in this topic different types of food items and how they are preserved, what is used to preserve them. Okay, how we can keep it for longer time. Okay, So let us begin with that. So, firstly, the preservation of the food by the chemicals. Okay, chemicals prevent attack and growth of microbes. Okay, some of examples are as follows. Okay, these chemicals, they prevent the growth of the microbes. So, first one is the sodium benzoate. It is a type of the chemical which is used in fruit juices, syrups, jams, and jellies. As you all know, fruit juices you will get from the fresh juice, also you get from the market, and packed juices. Okay, that are the, you can take any real juices or any of the juices. Okay, many juices are there, right? So sodium benzoate is a preservation chemical which is used to preserve the juices. Okay, and it doesn't get spoiled because of this chemical. Even few syrups are there, maple syrups are there, many syrups are there, jams are there, jellies are there. Okay, so that doesn't get spoiled. Okay, as you have also observed that from at your home it is kept for many days and it doesn't get spoiled. Yes, this is because food preservations are used, okay, in that. So benzoate, sodium benzoate is added in them. Then sodium metabisulfate is used in dry fruits, vegetables. Okay, packed vegetables, not that fresh vegetables. Okay, packed vegetables, syrups, even in the fruit juices this sodium metabisulfite is also used. Okay, acetic acid, that is vinegar. Okay, it is used in pickles, sauces. Okay, different type of the sauces, ketchup, tomato ketchup. Okay, so acetic acid, that is vinegar, is one type of the preservative. Okay, in the pickles and all. You know, no, your for preparation of pickles is also done at your home. You know that pickles are sun dry. Okay, in whatever fruit. If it is a mango pickle, then mango, it is some preservative is added. Even it might be salt or it might be vinegar. Okay, and then it is sun dried. Okay, and then in that your mother is adding few spices in that oil. She is adding, sometimes it might be vinegar. So that are the preservatives, food preservatives, so that pickles you can eat for a longer time, it doesn't get spoiled. Okay, on top of that she is using oil also in the pickles, right? So that oil is also one type of the preservative which is used. Okay, now sodium chloride, that is the salt. Okay, this sodium chloride, that is also used to preserve meat, amla, raw mangoes, fishes. Okay, so many a times this meat, okay, it is also preserved with the help of the salt and all. Okay, even the amla, raw mangoes and fish, so you can consume it for the longer time and microbes doesn't attack because of the presence of the salt. Now we will see preservation by common salt. Okay, common salt, or you can tell table salt. Okay, common salt has been used to preserve meat and fishes for ages. Okay, now meat, okay, many people they preserve meat and fishes. Okay, dry meat and dry fishes with the help of the salt. Okay, what they do, firstly the fresh meat they will add a lot of amount of salt. Okay, and even in fishes also. Okay, usually in common language it is known as sukhi machi. Okay, so that is preserved by using this salt. Then it is sun dried. Okay, then it is sun dried. Okay, then afterwards whenever, and it is kept at the home, and whenever needed, okay, whenever needed you can consume it. Okay, because in that, and in that microorganism or microbes will not catch. Okay, and that also it is kept for limited time. Okay, it is kept for limited time, for like somewhat 5 months, 6 months. Okay, or even more than that, or even less than that. Okay, it depends upon the material, like which type of fish it is, which type of meat it is. Okay, now meat and fishes are covered with dry salt. Okay, to check the growth of the bacteria. Now meat and fishes are covered, they are covered with the dry salt. Okay, so in that doesn't the growth of bacteria, it doesn't come. So sometimes they check also by doing this process. Okay, usually these are dried and they are consumed when it is needed. Okay, so here are few images of dry fishes and dry meat. Dry fishes, dry meat. Is done by common salt. Common salt is not only used to preserve fishes and meats, okay, it is also used to preserve the amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. Okay, so salting, this preservation by salting method is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. Preservation by sugar, okay, even the sugar is preserving the food materials by from the microorganisms. Okay, so in what sugar is added? Okay, so sugar is added in jams, jellies and squashes. Okay, they are preserved, these all things are preserved by the sugar. Okay, so the microorganisms or the microbes doesn't affect it. So here are the images of jams, jellies and squashes. Okay, jams and jellies, they are preserved by the sugar, so the microbes doesn't affect it and you can use it for the longer time. The another one images are the squashes. Okay, as you can see here in the image, the squashes, they are the, it might be the pumpkin or sweet pumpkin or many different types are there. Okay, in this sugar is added. Okay, sugar is added and it is preserved. Okay, now they are preserved by the sugar, so the microbes doesn't affect and they can consume it for the longer time. How sugar is preserving the food items? Okay, so sugar, it reduces the moisture content, okay, in that, in whatever material it is there, it reduces the moisture content, the watery part, it reduces that, which inhibits the growth of the bacteria which spoils the food. Okay, which stops the growth of the bacteria which is spoiling the food. That is why sugar is being used as preservative from ages. I hope you have understood till here. Now let us move ahead. Preservation by oil and vinegar. Okay, even the food items are preserved by using oil and vinegar, which I have told you in starting of the video only. Okay, so this use, first of all I would like to ask you one question, that many of at your home pickles are prepared, right? And you have seen your mother, first of all, what if it is a mango pickle, we will take example of a mango pickle. Okay, what your mother does, first of all it is cutted into small pieces, then a salt is added and it is kept for sun dried, then in that various types, once it is dried, various types of spices are added. Okay, so when your mother is keeping inside, okay, in any instrument, okay, what she is doing, she'll make sure that the oil is there on the topper layer. Okay, if the oil is not there till the topper layer, okay, till the top, okay, then what will happen, the fungus will be there. Okay, so fungus will be grown there and the pickles, it will be spoiled. So the oil is also used in the pickles as a food preservative. Okay, even vinegar are also used in various type of the food items. Okay, to prevent the spoilage of the pickles, because bacteria cannot live in such environment. Okay, bacteria, they can't live in such type of the environment. Okay, now vegetables, fruits, fishes and meats are also often preserved by this method. Okay, vinegar and oil is also added with the salt in the fishes, in the meats. Okay, even the packed vegetables which we get, okay, in plastics, okay, that vegetables also are preserved. Okay, now usually we go in a market and we buy, but sometimes, okay, in some places these vegetables are also packed in packets. Okay, so at that time the food preservatives are added in them. Okay, so I hope you have understood till here. In different types of preservation by the chemicals, preservation by the salt, sugar, oil, vinegar. Okay, now we are going to see preservation by the heat and the cold treatment. Okay, now everyone have you have observed, right? You have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. Okay, when if she want to use the milk, what she will do, she will boil the milk. Okay, so boiling kills many microorganisms. Okay, many microorganisms are there that will be killed by the boiling process. Okay, similarly we keep food in the refrigerator. Okay, low temperature inhibits the growth of the microbes. Okay, and in the refrigerator there is a cold atmosphere, so the vegetables or anything, so microbes will not directly attach because microbes cannot survive in that much temperature. Okay. Now, as you all know that milk it comes in the packets. Okay. Yes. Now all of you know that different type of people are there in this earth. Okay. Different type of people, they do different. They have different occupation. They work in different areas. Okay. So now everyone can't have a cow for their milk. Okay, so they use packet milks, right? Okay, so that packet milks, the question arises that why does the packet milk doesn't get spoiled? Okay, you know that packet milks we are using for 2 days also, even sometime it is for 3 days also. Why that packet milk doesn't get spoiled? Okay, so that packet milk, it undergoes a method which is known as pasteurization. The milk is pasteurized before it is packed. Okay, so what is this pasteurization and why these packet milks are pasteurized? Okay, so now we will see what is this pasteurization method, how it is carried out, and why the milk is pasteurized. So firstly, why the milk is pasteurized? Okay, pasteurization helps killing bacteria. Okay, in pasteurization maintains the taste of the milk. Okay, even pasteurization helps to avoid health and hazard and food poisoning. Okay, this pasteurization, it also helps in the preserving the milk. Okay, and we can use it for fewer more days. Okay, so now how this pasteurization method is carried out, let us see that. These are the pasteurization where the pasteurization process is carried out in the industries. This is the instruments which are used in the pasteurization of milk. Okay, now let us learn about this pasteurization of the milk, how it is carried out. So, milk pasteurization, it comes under hot, heat and cold treatment. Okay, so pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from the harmful microbes. Okay, we can even drink without boiling also. Okay, now the milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, firstly it is heated at 70 degrees Celsius to 15 to 30 seconds, and then it is suddenly chilled. Okay, then it is suddenly chilled and it is stored in the packets. Okay, so they undergo heat and cold treatment. By doing this, so it prevents the growth of the microbes. So growth of the microbes will not come inside the milk because of this treatment. Okay, this process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. Okay, this process was discovered. This preservation method was discovered by Louis Pasteur, and it is called as pasteurization of the milk, or you can tell pasteurization. Okay, so I hope you have understood till here. Now we will move ahead with the another topic, storage and packing. Okay, now these days dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets to prevent the attack of the microbes. Okay, now storage and packaging. Now to prevent from the microbes, it should be stored, it should be packed properly so the microbes, it doesn't go inside. So nowadays they are using one of the best way they are using, that is the airtight. Okay, what they do, they seal it in the airtight, so even air can't go inside. So how could the microbes possible? Okay, so this was about the storage and packing. The next topic, that is the nitrogen fixation, that is the nitrogen cycle. For that I am sending animated video, in that you will understand very nicely. Okay, that animated video is full of fun, and with that fun only you will learn the full process of nitrogen cycle. So just after watching this video, my dear students, you are going to watch the animated video which I have already sent. Okay, that is of the nitrogen cycle. Okay, just after sending this video, this video I have already sent nitrogen cycle animated video, okay, which is really a fun video, and in that you will understand very nicely the whole process of the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so just after watching this video you are going to watch that nitrogen cycle. Okay, so with this we have ended chapter 2, microorganisms friend and foe. I will be back with another new video, new chapter. Till then, my dear students, stay safe, stay healthy, keep studying, keep your books complete. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.